Hi guys, this is Sarah with Doing Daisies, back for another installment of 50 Christmas crafts in 50 days. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Christmas ornament that I had actually seen at one of the big box craft stores. Alright, and I looked at that ornament and said, you know, I can make that. That is not that hard to do. It's a paper ornament with glitter on it. So I bought a few sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock, which I got at the same store that I saw these ornaments in a set of 4 for many, many dollars, and decided to see what I could do to create my own. So here I'm going to show you how to create the exact same ornaments using just a few sheets of cardstock and glitter and a little bit of glue. Alright, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my 12 by 12 cardstock into 3-inch sections. Okay, and after you have all your 3-inch by 3-inch squares cut, what you're going to do is cut them all diagonally so that you have triangles. And you can either use a ruler and a knife to go ahead and give them a nice clean cut, or you can use scissors. Right? And just go ahead and get all these cut up, and we'll be back when we're done. So what I have is the cardstock here cut into the triangles. I'm facing the triangle up, and with this cardstock I have the textured side facing me because actually the inside of the ornament that we're making is going to be what's most visible. Then I am going to take the bottom ends of the triangle and fold them up as such, just so they're about halfway up on each side. Okay, and they don't have to be perfect by any means. Then what we're going to do is put glue on both sides of the paper. Right, I'm going to bring them around so that they meet up together, and then go ahead and try to get that adjusted somewhat. Then I am going to simply paper clip this to help hold my folds in place while I continue on with all the others. Alright, now that I have 5 of these done, glue is still damp. I still have them paper clipped together. But I'm going to show you what to do for the next step, and we're going to go ahead and glue sets of 5 together. Okay, and got glue on both sides of those. I'm going to attach these together as such and paper clip those together as well to dry. Right, and we're going to do this for all 5 of the petals for our flowers here for our ornament. And we will slip that one in. Get these clipped together as well. And as you can see, I'm trying to get as close as I can. And on all these pieces to make the center as small as possible. Now you're still going to have a center point there, but I am trying to make it as small as I can. And I'm just going to set this aside then while all this glue dries, and keep folding all my triangles. I have plenty. Now that I have all of these paper clip together. I've given them a little bit of time to dry. The last thing I want to do is come around on the back side, and I want to take my hot glue gun and just add a dab of hot glue at the back, and then hold all these together. This is an optional step depending on what you're using them for, but since I do want to make Christmas ornaments that will have a little bit of lasting power, I do want to make sure that they are adhered fairly firmly. So I am going to go ahead and take this extra precaution with them. Right, and then when this piece is dry, so that it holds together on itself, I'm going to go down each side of each petal just a little bit to, again, help strengthen the flower. Okay, so again, I'm just going around a little bit on each side just to make sure that this doesn't fall apart during that storage time. And I'm going to do this for each flower. After you have all the glue dried, I've taken off all the paper clips. What I'm going to do with these center pieces here is I am going to cut them back to they're about even, going straight back from the center. And we're going to do this for all of them, so that what we have is it just looks like the center of the petal coming out from the center. Alright. Here we go. We're just going to do this for all of them. What we're going to do is glue together the flowers in, well, sets of 3 where the petals come together. So they're going to come together something like this. Okay, so it will look something like this as we get started. And we're going to go around and glue all of them together in sets of 3. Alright, in just the same way. Alright, and as you can see, we've got the ball of the ornament starting to form. And we're just going to keep moving around till we have all of the open pieces glued together in sets of 3. Okay, now that I have my 2 halves completed, before I attach them together, I'm going to paint them with glue along the edges, and then I'm going to sprinkle them with glitter to give the same effect as the ornament pictured. So let's go ahead and get started with that, and I'm using just some plain white glue. Pick this up at the Dollar Tree, it's just as good as any, and we're just going to paint this on. I'm going to take my glitter, just pour it over the petals that I have covered with the glue. Okay, there we go. And any that aren't covered, any glitter that I haven't used, I'm going to pour back into the container as I continue on around the ornament. Now that we have both halves completed and glittered, we are going to work on attaching them and completing the ornament. But before we do this, what I want to do is take some ribbon and loop it so that we have a hook for our ornament, so we have some way to hang it. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this piece of ribbon. And I'm going to go ahead and knot it at the bottom. Sorry, I was out of camera range there. It's hard to do when I'm zoomed in. Stay in range, that is. Alright, So I have that knotted, and then I'm going to hot glue it down here into the bottom of the ornament. I don't want to glue it where, I want to glue it where these petals come together on the short end so that we can still attach the taller ones together. Alright, and we're going to let that set up for just a minute, and then we'll continue working on getting the ornament glued together and attached. Now that that's had a second to dry, we're going to continue moving around and gluing the sets of 3 petals together. I'm going to keep moving around and gluing the rest of these together, and I'll be back with my finished ornament here in just a minute. Here's our ornament. We have all the flowers adhered together. We have the ribbon to hang it from, and next thing we are going to do is add some half pearl embellishments to the center of every flower, and that is just to give us a nice, neat, finished look. So what I'm going to do with this is just take a little bit of hot glue on the end of the pearl. Alright, and stick it on there. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and go around and do that in the center of every flower. Alright, and there we have it, the finished paper ornament ball. I think it turned out absolutely gorgeous, and again, I used just 2 sheets of 12 by 12 paper, cut into 3-inch squares, and some of the little half pearls I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and some ribbon that I had in my stash, and as well as the glitter and glue, and it turned out just absolutely gorgeous. I think it's every bit as good, if not better, than the ones they have at Hobby Lobby. What do you all think? You have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.